Hi, welcome back to Comic Book Gallery. I'm your host, Joaquin. How we doing, people? So today's another budget haul video. So I'm not going to be doing these every week, but every now and then I will be dropping a budget haul video. So I only pick up like a few new books a week, and then I usually try to buy something else. Um, in this case, it's a pop. So I got a Spider-Man pop, which is pretty cool. Now, I might get the Wolverine because I don't have him in the yellow. And I don't have a Captain America, and I don't have an Iron Man, so I'll most likely try to get all three of these. That way, when I have my comics posted on Instagram, I'll have a pop for them. So, in the past few years, I got into collecting pops, and I didn't get into collecting pops to like chase pops or anything like that. I just wanted to collect what I liked. And I feel like a majority of the people who are collecting pops are probably the same way. And then there are those who look at it like it can be somewhat of an investment, kind of like comic books or Magic the Gathering or sports cards or any type of collectibles. You can start putting money into it and get a somewhat of a healthy return and start having the hobby pay for itself. But for me, I just like collecting them because I don't have room for statues. So it's more of I'm just collecting these because they're easier to stack. All right, so move this out of the way. Sorry, Spidey. Put you in the corner right here for a second. So the two books that I did get were War of the Bounty Hunters, Star Wars, number 16. If you guys are not reading this, man, this is such a great story. Just just the whole premise leading up to the Book of Boba Fett, and the story takes place right after Empire Strikes Back, and so there are some gaps that are being filled, I guess, or um, sorry, I got a little tongue tied, but there every movie that Star Wars does, there's a big hole in the plot lines that comic books and now Disney Plus are filling, which I think is amazing, and I'm glad they're doing. So this is a continuation of that, and I don't want to do a review of it because I really would like you guys to read these. The Darth Vader story, that's going to cost me a lot because I just recently started reading Darth Vader because I heard about the War of the Bounty Hunters. And so, because I'm a big Boba Fett fan, I was like, oh, I guess I gotta grab all of these. And except for, I think there's like Doctor so and so, I always forget her name. I'm really not into her, so I'm not collecting her series. But she made her first appearance in this Darth Vader run. So if I want to collect the whole series, it's gonna cost me a little bit more than I planned because she's a popular character right now. But I will go back and collect this Darth Vader, most likely when she has died down. So I'll probably collect every other book but that one type of situation. So the other book that I picked up was Peter Parker, the Spectacular Spider-Man. Yeah, type that in to go collect really fast. Like, damn, could we not come up with any longer title than this? But the reason why I picked it up was it has Sabretooth in it. And I did like the story for Sabretooth challenging Spider Man. And the cover is pretty good. That's why I kind of paused for a second. I was like, I do like the cover on this art. Um, you know, if you really want to put it to a test, if Sabretooth were to get to really get a hold of Spider Man, he could kill him. Because either he's ripping out his throat or he's just ripping him through the chest. And while Spider Man has super strength and speed, he should be able to avoid all that. But if he makes a mistake, I feel that Sabretooth could take him down. But either way, leave a comment below. Do you think Sabretooth in a like cage match type of situation could get the best of Spider-Man? Because Spider-Man relies a lot of, webbing and a little bit of range at first. So depending on who he's fighting. But he also holds back a lot because he just, he can't be going around punching everybody. I mean, besides breaking jaws, he could probably kill like a normal person with a one hit. Because he can lift like 40 to 50 tons, something crazy like that. So, $10, that was a pretty good deal. Like the cover. So, if I didn't just get 2 new books for the week, right? And I bought like, 4, 5, or 6, that would have took up my budget, and I couldn't have gotten the Spider-Man pop. And the last book I want to talk about is a Wildcat. I picked this up for $1. It's at best, it's probably in very fine condition. And to maybe very fine. I mean, there are a couple of ticks in it, but the reason why I picked it up was because in a previous budget video, I had picked up, God, I can't even think of the name, Stormwatch. And I was talking about Wildcats and how this is the group I enjoyed reading. I thought the cast was a little interesting, but, as I go back and I reread this, I was like, oh yeah, this is definitely 90s work. This guy right here, he turns out that at one point he was homeless. And Voodoo right here, she's a stripper. I was like, oh yeah, that's definitely 90s material. But, it was Jim Lee. I do plan on trying to get one of these in like a 9.8 and just hold it. And once they start creeping up in price, then I'll probably get it CGC. But I do definitely want to go back and collect the series. Another character, Grifter, the guy with a gun, and right here, the 2 masks. I thought he was pretty cool. I like the girl with the sword, and I can't remember all the other characters. And she's some AI type of. I can't remember exactly what her role is in a sense, but I have to get the rest of the series. But she seems like she's somebody who is taking care of this guy whose name I forget right now. And he's supposed to be really important, and he's destined to save the world. Those type of storylines. And then we got our typical strongman. So, Wildcats, if you look at the title here, covert action team. So, it's Jim Lee. Back in the days, this is pretty much what caused the market crash of the 90s. Everybody thought, including myself, because I was young at that time, that you should get a whole bunch of these books, and people thought they were going to send their kids to college in 20 years, and that's just not the case. But what they should have been doing is all those people who were investing in comic books should have been going back, like myself, and picking up, like, Hulk 181, first appearance of Silver Surfer. Believe it or not, people, for those of you who are just new into collecting comic books, Avengers were not a top-selling book. Not only that, there's a reason why Disney only had like Iron Man and the Avengers, and they didn't even, that's pretty much it. And some other Marvel characters. Oh, Daredevil, because who was Captain America? Like, Marvel movies made all of those titles really popular in the mainstream. Now, Captain America, people know who he is, but his books generally they weren't really the top sellers. It's usually like X-Men and Spider-Man and even the Fantastic Four, give or take, during sometimes. So when Disney acquired Marvel, if they had Spider-Man or if they had the X-Men, those would have been the first movies they would have been basing the Marvel universe based on. I don't know if they would have started the Avengers first, because the X-Men are the most popular, or they've sold, like X-Men #1 when you had Jim Lee and Chris Claremont. I think it sold for like 7 or 8 million copies, and I still think that's a record today. So there you go. A brief little history of Wildcats, because I tried to keep these videos short, and if I start really going off on a tangent, then this video will be a while. But little fun facts, and just to show what you could do if you stick to a budget and not keep collecting, 5 to 10 new books a week, because the majority of those books are going to be there in your comic book store. And the only books that you really should be picking up on are the ones that are first appearance, or maybe have some kind of significant storyline. But other than that, just pick up 2 or 3 books a week, and then, use the money to buy other things. All right, people. Hope you enjoyed this video. If you're new to the channel, hit the subscribe button. If you enjoyed the content, hit the like button. And leave a comment below. I'd love to hear from you. Take care.